Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, like, comment and subscribe. Today I'm going to be doing another update about my type 1 diabetes, the battles, the symptoms and what foods. And I've actually brought along some foods that I can have and some foods that I can't have. Sorry about that, I'm got a bit of a cough today. So some of the symptoms are nausea, vomiting, bedwetting, tiredness, thirstiness, feeling tired a lot, not feeling well, and weight loss. So some of my symptoms were I wasn't feeling well, I was going to the bathroom a lot, I was very unwell a lot, and I was hungry and I had weight loss. So my family decided to take me to the doctors and we got a blood test done, and that night my dad got a phone call saying that I had to go into the hospital because I had type 1 diabetes. And it was really hard for me and my family because we didn't know what was wrong with me. And so we went to the hospital and they put me on an IV and I stayed in there for the weekend. And Monday I was released. But this was May last year. But I'm doing really well this year. I've got through a lot of battles with it. Like some battles with what I can eat, what I can't eat, me wanting to do it, me not wanting to do my insulin. But I know if I don't do my insulin, then I can die from it, or I can get very, very ill and I can end up in a hospital. Or sometimes you can lose limbs if you don't do your diabetes properly. So today I brought along some foods I can and cannot have, and also I'm doing like trial and error. So like what foods put me in a high and what foods I can have, and the symptoms. So some of the symptoms are bedwetting, vomiting, nausea, and all that, as I said before. So here are some of the foods I brought along and drinking I brought along today. So this is called sugar-free drinking powder. It's really good. You can get all sorts of drinking powder. It's like Milo, but it's flavoured Milo. So I've got that. You can get it at your nearest shops. Yogurts. I can have these kind of yogurts because there's 25% less sugar in them. These ones I am doing a trial and error. These are Goodies fruit nuggets. They're coated with sugar, but I only have one packet a day because of how much sugar they have in them. They're gluten free and they're really healthy for you. These are a bar that I can also have. It's a cherry muesli bar. I can have one of these a day, and sometimes they put my sugars high, but sometimes they don't. And today I've just gone out and bought ICM bars. I've got that one, and I've got a chocolate one. I'm doing a trial and error to see if these will put my sugars up or if they will keep my blood sugars normal. And last of all, I have a packet of chips. So with these packet of chips, they have 8.8 grams of sugar in them, so that's pretty good. But some foods like some foods I can't have, like I can't have some certain chocolate yogurts. I can't have certain bars. Some bars are good for me, but I'm having trouble finding bars that will be good for me, like low in sugar bars and low in sugar food. So if you have any tips or ideas of what kind of foods that are low in sugar, just drop in the comments down below and yeah, let me know and I'll get back to you. So with the battle, it's quite hard because I sometimes shut my body out and say I don't want to do this anymore, I give up because I'm just tired of having to do my insulin. But I know if I don't do my insulin, then I can get really, very ill and sometimes die from it. And so it's quite hard for me because I know if I don't do my insulin properly, I can actually go into a diabetic coma or end up in hospital because I'm not doing my insulin properly or doing all my medication properly. So if you have any pointers or tips or anything, just leave in the comments down below what I can improve on. And with my family, I love them to bits, and they hate seeing me real upset because I don't want to do my blood sugars anymore. I don't want to do my insulin properly, and I go to multiple meetings every 3 months for a checkup to tell them how I'm doing and stuff, and all that. Also, sometimes I still get a bit tired and grumpy because of my diabetes, and sometimes I just don't feel myself some days because I just feel really unwell because of my diabetes sometimes. I used to be really, really skinny. I lost 10 kgs when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, and with insulin actually helps you put the weight back on. Because you don't want to be skinny all your life if you're a type 1 diabetic because it's actually bad for you. So, and I love going for runs sometimes and going for exercise, doing exercise at course every day because I know I should look after my body, and I love my family to bits, and they don't want to see me hurt and I don't want to see them hurt. If you have more tips about how I can get my body weight or my mood swings under control, leave in the comments below. And I know I shouldn't be eating junk food and that, but I can't help it. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. There must be a crash somewhere down by my house because, yeah, there's a lot of sirens going on, so sorry about that, guys. So if you have any pointers or anything, just let me know because I want to fight diabetes and get a cure so I don't have to live with diabetes all my life because it runs in both sides of my family. Both my families have type 1 and type 2, so it kind of runs in the family. So when I went into the hospital, they put me in IV and I stayed in there for a couple of days, and I didn't really like the food there, but whenever I had a cup of tea, I couldn't have sugar with it, and it just didn't taste the same because I'm not used to having sugar, cup of teas without sugar, but lately I've been getting used to having breakfast and tea and Milo without sugar, because sometimes with my cereals, I sometimes have a little bit of sugar in them. It's not the teaspoons, not when you put the teaspoons in there. Just like some sugars are in the yogurts or the breakfast cereals. Sorry about that, guys. So it kind of runs in both sides of my family, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is serious, and type 2 is where sometimes you can't eat certain foods like potatoes and most carbohydrates, and whenever I have my dinner, I have 3 scoops of potatoes, half a plate of vegetables, and a fist size full of meat. So say for sausages, I would have 2 to 3 sausages, and that would cover me until supper time. So I do it 3 to 4 times a day. So I do it breakfast, lunch, dinner, and before bed. So, and sometimes I do check my blood sugars during the day because I sometimes feel unwell or I go into a hike. My family knows if I go into a hike, I get really, really grumpy and I start getting moody and stuff. So I sometimes check my blood sugars, but if I go into low, our pet dog, Ebony, she'll sense that I'm going into low. She'll start licking me, she'll start jumping all over me. Or another sign is you'll start feeling sick, your ears, like you'll start going deaf in your ears a wee bit, and you'll start like going blurry in your eyes and you can't see anything and you feel like you're gonna faint. I was like that the other day when I was at the mall because I hadn't drunken water since 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was about lunchtime and I wasn't feeling well, so I almost passed out at the mall, but my auntie was there to save me and she gave me some water and a chocolate bar, and I was normal for the rest of the day. So if you have any pointers or tips or any good idea for food ideas, just drop in the comments down below and I'll get back to you soon. See you guys. Bye.